Britt, in this opening episode, we really kind of get personal with yeah, right off the bat. It's a way to start. I mean,
sorry, family, you're here.
I know.
I apologize.
Okay. It was a good start, though. But things change very quickly.
Change, yeah.
How was it? How challenging was it? And in the book, there's a little bit of a different outcome for your character.
Yeah, Angie dies pretty quickly in the book. Thank you for saving me for a little longer. I die like chapter 2, for those of you who've read the book, you know. But yeah, in the pilot, you get to see sort of a bit of a small arc for my character, and sort of along the same lines of what everyone else was saying. It's so interesting because you get to see kind of the good and bad of people and how the dome brings that out in everyone. And what's interesting for Angie, I think, is you know, she's sort of in this dome inside of a dome, being in the fallout shelter, and I think that sort of turns her. You know, you would think that would bring out the bad in her, and you sort of see the promiscuous side of her from the start, but it actually...
Oh, yeah, there was that. Yeah.
But it actually, it makes her to be a better person, ultimately, I think. You know, she has to start making really quick survivor choices, and if she ever does get out of that fallout shelter, then, you know, maybe she can apply that to the real world.
If she ever
Inside
gets out.
The dome. If she gets out, we'll
if
see
she
what
gets
happens.
out. I love that cliffhanger. Jack, I want to ask you, what challenges did it present for you guys to figure out logistically, like, what stays, what goes? How fast does the water go? How fast does the food go? Well, you know, how did you figure that out, and how did you pace yourself?
Well, first of all, those decisions are made by our illustrious writers and showrunners in Los Angeles. We get these extraordinary scripts and these recipes, and then we cook up the meal, so to speak. But
Wow, that's nice.
was that nice?
That was nice.
You would have said it funnier. But so those decisions really are mapped out by Neil and Brian and our terrific writing staff. We contribute in terms of, well, there is one little anecdote where I was shooting, I believe, the second episode, and one of our terrific editors, Michael, said to me on the phone, "Dailies look great, but it's windy under the dome." And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Can it be windy under the dome?" And I said, "Yes." And then, of course, but climate will be part of the mystery under the dome. So a lot of that everything comes from the script, and then we have to realize it. And if on a day it's windy, you know, and our writers and producers see this wind and go, "Oh my God," and it leads them down a path maybe they didn't think about, because that's what we're provided with. So it's a combination of things. But Randy Sutter is our line producer here, and we have a great team to realize it all.
Yeah, Stephen, has there been anything you've seen and you said, "Wow, I like that you guys came up with that"?
Yeah, there have been a number of things. I love the idea of the dome. I love the idea that you can't see it, but it's there, and TV is such a visual medium.
Right.
So that there's a scene where Benny Drake, who is Joe McClatchy's friend, spray paints a door on the dome and says, "Oh, look, dude, I found a way out." And the thing that knocked me out is that you can see the shadow of that door on the outside, you know, because the sun is going the other way. I love it when the truck hits the dome and you see the milk and the produce splattering down the face of it. I'm a visual guy. I enjoy that, and those things knock me out. There's a scene, I think it's in episode 2, where Benny Drake skateboards up the side of the dome. He literally goes right out of the skateboarding concrete trench and up the side of the dome, and it's pretty terrific. You can just see a little electric spurt.
That's John Elvis out there.
John Elvis.
Johnny Elvis!
Yeah.
John Elvis is the skater dude.
Yeah, and the reason, well, that's also how things happen in the world of creating episodic television, which is so great, is that John Elvis came and read here, and he was carrying a skateboard. And that's how he got here. And I said, do you skate? He says, yeah, man. And I told the guys, the next thing you know, you're skateboarding, which is just great.
Wow. We see some of the other cast members down here in the front. I just want to ask, with an ensemble cast this big, how tough is it to keep track of the stories? And do you know what's going on? Or when you see it, you see stuff and you're like, where in the world did that come from? When did that happen? Any of you can answer.
I think it's fantastic in that a lot of these guys have a bit of lost history there, which of course had a tremendous sort of mystery about it.
Sure.
And what I love is that we're kind of at times it can be frustrating as an actor because you're going, but where am I going? What's happening? But you're spoon-fed little by little what's happening, but only your stuff. And so we'll all be sitting around in between a take, and someone's talking about, I just found out that I'm gonna say, what? I didn't. Okay, right, because I'm doing this, so that means you're doing that, and so we're putting the puzzle together as we go. So I think it's a fantastic little thing to keep us on our toes.
Has there been anything that you've been like, I can't believe y'all did that to me?
Everything.
Yeah. Now, I know for a fact that we have 2 microphones on the side, and we're gonna take a couple of questions from the audience too. We'll take a couple of questions, so you can come on down and you can ask the cast questions.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming here. Angus Hoover from Encore Magazine. Brian, you had a history with Lost. Can you talk a little bit about what some of the challenges are about creating something that has sort of a mystery element to it, and sort of the challenges of kind of carrying the audience along with it for the ride?
Sure, I think it probably comes down to you have to, every time you introduce a new mystery, you have to solve another mystery. So, for example, we might not find out anytime soon exactly who's behind the dome, but we'll find out pretty quickly how did Barbie end up burying that gentleman in a shallow grave. And so, yeah, I think we will, the mysteries come out a little bit at a time. So I hope the audience doesn't feel like we're stringing them along. We know where we're headed, so the answers are coming.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You.
Hi, I'm Sheila Brothers from Sunny 104.5 in Wilmy Wood. My question, of course, is going to be musically related. I know, Mr. King, Stephen, you are a music guy. I'd like to thank you for Maximum Overdrive and the AC/DC soundtrack. I have to give you big kudos for that.
Well, the soundtrack was great.
It was amazing. But
Okay.
we love it. It was filmed here. So I know you're a big fan of music, and I believe Anne is the one who's doing the score for Under the Dome. How is music, and especially with Nicholas, being the DJ here, how is that going to impact the show in a musical way?
I'm the wrong person to ask. You'd have to. It's best that Neil Baer answer that question. All I can say
Mr.
is-
Neil?
So Ann Klein is our music supervisor, and Snuffy Walden, who you probably heard his great music for The West Wing in the past, is
and
the
the
composer.
Stand, the miniseries.
And The Stand. So we have a phenomenal composer, and then Ann gives us music for various scenes. So we go back to the 60s in episodes. We use new performers, new bands. We pick and choose. So it's really kind of a eclectic assortment because our DJ Phil likes kind of new hip music, and Dodie kind of likes Van Halen, so we can get in a lot of different kinds of music for the show.
Hi, Nicolene from Star News. Stephen, you've done 5 or 6 projects here in Wilmington in the past. How has this project kind of compared with those ones with your experience?
Well, I'm enjoying this a lot because, frankly, I'm working with people that I enjoy and people that I trust. I'm not saying that I didn't trust some of the people that I worked with when I was here before, but I will just say that working with Dino De Laurentiis was an experience, but one that I enjoyed. But this is really great. I feel like I've got the power of Amblin and behind the production, and the muscle of CBS TV, which is, they kind of rock the house when it comes to ratings and all that, and they've really put a lot behind it. And you know, and I think Jack would agree with this, Jack Bender, you never have as much budget as you would like to have, but we've got very luxurious budgets by a lot of TV standards, and man, I absolutely adore Wilmington, and I just keep coming back there.